Danger, Will Robinson, danger. What I'm about to share with you may set you free, or it may cause at least an itch you're going to want to scratch. Our truth is our soul's purpose while here on this earthly plane. It's our soul's calling. Setting our truth free is oftentimes something we resist doing because it means stepping outside of our comfort zone and taking risks. Oftentimes we will laugh at it, we will try to poo-poo it away, we will try to run from it or even hide from it, and sometimes we'll numb out because the thought of going there is much more frightening in this place of familiarity that we've become accustomed to. But you know, it's not like the boogeyman. It's more like the Pillsbury Doughboy that just wants to feed you nothing but pure love and joy without all the empty calories. Nice visual, right? You know, the only thing that gets in the way of our truth is this. That's it. I know it sounds simple, probably not so much. But could you imagine what it would be like if we could stop setting the limitations on ourselves? I want you to close your eyes for just a moment and visualize with me freeing yourself of all the limitations that we place on ourselves. The enoughs. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not fit enough. I'm not rich enough. And the enoughs go on and on and on. Practice doing that. Eventually it feels liberating, doesn't it, to be able to let go of the enoughs? They can consume us and take us to a place of restriction and limitations. You have one of two choices. You can either choose to challenge your fears, or your fears will challenge you. Nancy Levin, who's the author of Jump and Your Life Will Appear, says you can rock your foundation, or your foundation will be rocked. Gary Zukav says, you can become the victim or the victor of your circumstances. It's all up to you. You have a choice. Every moment of every day, you have a choice. And if inside you feel like you've made the wrong choice, you have the next moment to make another choice. I know when it's time for me to challenge my fears, because I get stuck in a rut and I feel completely out of balance, either emotionally, spiritually, physically, or mentally. And I know that because it manifests itself in some form of pain in my body. Meditation allows us the opportunity to become still and connect with that still, quiet place within, where insight and wisdom transcends and clarity emerges, clearing a way to our truth. I recommend 10 minutes in the morning upon rising and 10 minutes in the evening before retiring. Now, I know some people go, you know, I've tried this, I've sat, and 2 minutes is about all I'm good for, and then I'm gone. And I recommend that you can try guided meditation as a step, because it kind of gives you a chance to at least connect with sitting still, and then as you advance, you can move into a place of silence. But it is a practice, and it takes time, just like coming into our truth. And we evolve daily. Moment by moment, we evolve in our truth. Our truth is something that will be tweaked. We're here on earth, and it's a lifetime process, and while we're here, we make the best of it, because we're moving and we're evolving, and as we evolve, our truth evolves. You know, you can hear something over and over and over again. You can hear from 10 different people in 10 different ways in 10 different settings, and it's not until you're ready to hear it are you actually going to take heed to it. How true the saying is that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. About 2 months ago, I met with Jay Pryor. He's a great life coach, and I might add, he was the right teacher at the right time for me to be able to listen. Because I'd heard this before, and I just wasn't ready. He asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, well, you know, for the last 20 years of my life, I've been an interpreter. And 5 years prior to today, I started my own business as a health and nutrition coach. And I've worked with people one-on-one, and I love doing that. And I said, but I want to expand what I do to become an inspirational and motivational speaker. And I also want to be able to travel, and I would like the potential to get paid for that. And he looked at me and he goes, well, why don't you do that? And I thought, for a moment, I got goosebumps, and it was like, I allowed myself to go there. I'm thinking, my God, I could do this. I could potentially do this. And it's like, God. And I walked out the door, and boom, here comes the fear. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? What am I going to say? Who am I going to talk to? How am I going to get started? And the big one, what if I fail? You know, this is where we get tripped up. If we allow ourselves to get caught up in all the details, it becomes immobilizing, and we do nothing. We go nowhere, and we go right back to that place of familiarity where we've always been, and we're not allowing ourselves to move forward to where we can be. So you've set the intention, you've set a direction, let go, and trust that God's going to take care of the details. It has nothing to do with you. Just let go. Although there is action required. We'll talk about that in a minute. There's so much truth in the saying, we teach what we most need to hear and learn. And as a health and nutrition coach, I've asked my clients to pick something that they do and choose to do it differently. For example, I had a client who wanted to stop putting so much sugar in their coffee. I said, okay, well, let's try this. They were used to putting 3 teaspoons of sugar in their coffee each time. And I said, okay, let's try this. Let's try just 2 teaspoons of sugar in your coffee. And do that until you feel that 2 teaspoons is good enough. You're satisfied with that, and you've succeeded. And then let's reduce it down to 1 teaspoon of sugar in your coffee until you've succeeded. And then we'll move on to the next one, till there's none. And all this does is create a ripple effect of self-confidence, because you've succeeded in one, you've tried it again, you've succeeded again, and you're trying it again. And you continue to do this until you look at yourself and you've seen you had a history of successes. So then when you go to mount something huge, like I want to lose weight, you can mount that horse and go, I've got a list that shows I've succeeded and I can do this. It's not so big, it's not so daunting. And you've proven yourself you can do it. And you can do it again. And you can do it again. We want to go from 0 to 60. And that's the process of where we find ourselves being tripped up, because we cannot go from 0 to 60. There are people that have tried it, and what's happened is when we go there and what we've done is we didn't reach what we wanted to reach, and we say to ourselves, God, I did it again. And all you've done is validate where you've been. You're not validate where you're going. And these small successes can do that. I knew I was going to need support. Everything for me is just a little bit easier when I get the support I need. And I encourage you to find someone that you trust, someone that you can sit down and be with and let them hold sacred space for you. And what I mean by that is to be able to let them let you process through things, because you have everything you need within you, and sometimes just being able to process through that gives you that opportunity. Along with faith, I want to say that I have I have two loving, I have two loving parents that drug me to church every Sunday. And I say drug because I didn't want to go. But you know, looking back on that, I value that so very much because it built a strong, solid faith foundation. Don't. And that faith foundation is what has helped me. And if you don't have a faith foundation, find someone who does and watch them pull from theirs. You don't have to follow their religious belief system. It is so not about that. Your relationship with God, the great I am, Mother Nature, the Holy Spirit, Source, whatever that is to the universe, whatever that is to you, that's your personal relationship. It's not a conforming one. My son, Mikkel, and his wife, Ashley, have a very strong faith foundation. And I watched them pull from their faith countless times. And when their faith, or when my faith is weak, watching them give me faith. Thank you. And thank you. So about a week or two after I had met with Jay, I decided it was time to take a step and put my house on the market. And I decided to go to Florida for a month to get focused on myself and my expansion. And I wanted to also focus on the flexibility of letting go and trusting that whatever the universe lay in front of me was right and perfect. So I'm going to give you a little analogy. So we're in this rowboat. And a rowboat is our tool. It's the process of taking steps. And we're rowing along, and we've set our course, our intention, our truth, our desires, our goals. We've set them out here. And we're rowing along, and life gets in the way. And a storm comes up, and these currents come up, and we're rowing, and we keep rowing, and we find ourselves we're going against the current. And we're going, but I want to go over here, and I'm being moved over here. What we need to learn right here is why we're here. You can look back on your life, and you can see every person you've ever met. You can see every encounter every situation you've ever been in. Look, it's brought you to where you are right now, and you're the amazing soul that you are because of that. So stop fighting the current and allow yourself to go in that direction. Because God heard you. You've set your tent. Trust me, He's heard where you're going. And He's there to support you. So stop bucking the current and allow things to happen. How do you know if you're making the right decision, that it will support you or not? Well, this question is not only, that I'm going to propose, does not only help you in answering your soul's calling, but it's also about making other decisions. Ask yourself, will what I'm about to do not only serve what I'm about to do not only support my truth, but my soul's highest and best purpose? Not just mine, but will also serve the well-being of others. And if you can answer yes to that question, you're most likely headed down the right path for you. The benefits of allowing, I also wanted to say too, that if you answered yes to that question, you also know that you are acting out of love and not fear. The benefits of allowing divine synchronicity play a role in your coming out party. That's your soul's coming out party. Where did you all go for a minute? Divine synchronicity are those moments where no internal struggle is taking place, where the walls of resistance and fear have fallen away and lay witness to the creativity, fun, enlightenment, and a sense of abundance you find rising like the sun, and you are reassured you are on the path supporting your coming out Let me give you some examples. So, 1 week before I was to leave, my friend Kathy is driving down the road here in Lawrence, and in front of her is a mutual friend of ours, Sandy. And Kathy's getting on the phone and goes, "What are the odds? I'm right behind you in the car. I can't believe you're right there. We need to talk." And Sandy goes, "Yeah, we do." So they meet up. Kathy's saying, "So what's going on for you?" And Sandy goes, "You're not going to believe this. You know, I was supposed to leave at the end of this month," which was April, and I had a little life showed up thing, and I'm stuck here for another month, and I need a place to stay. And she goes, "Oh my God, I think I've got the right and perfect person." Now remember, I put my house on the market. My boat's going over here, but it's okay. And she says, "I got a person that you know Trina, you might want to talk to her. She may be just what you need." And so she lived in my house for a month, which served her soul's purpose at that time, which was perfect, because it helped me out, served her soul's purpose, perfect. Divine synchronicity. Next, 1 day before I left, I told my check engine light comes on in my car. I'm going, "Oh my God, not now, not now." And when we say, I'll let you know that a friend of mine, Stephanie, comes to me and she says, "You know what, why don't you just take my car?" I said, "I'm not going to take your car. It's 4,000 miles I'm going to be putting on your car. I'm not taking your car." Okay, so every time I set the intention, and every time I say no, what am I doing? I'm closing the door. I'm closing the door more. I'm closing the door to more gifts. I'm closing the door and saying, "No, thank you, not now, not this way, it shouldn't look like this, no, no." So if we keep saying no, we're not allowing ourselves to move forward. So I invite you to practice saying yes. Say yes. And so I said yes, and I took the car. I'm driving, one more thing, and this happened, there's so many of these instances, I cannot tell you, once I opened it up, there's so many of these instances that kept happening, and the Vortex group there was like, "Well, duh, what'd you expect?" And so I'm riding down this bicycle path, and I said, "God, show me a place where I can connect with you, connect with nature, connect with the ocean, and so I can write." And I turned down this path, and it was the most amazing, beautiful path I've ever seen. It was canopied in moss-covered trees, and off to the left was a bench, right up next to the water. Went down a little further, another bench, right up next to the water. Went down further, another bench. And I just, okay, I got it. So I pulled over and I did my thing, and I got up and I left, and I started down this bicycle path again, and somebody had graffitied on the sidewalk. "I told you." And I was like, I can't make this stuff up. So Eckhart Tolle says, finding our truth is not about the process of addition, it's about the process of subtraction. It's taking away what no longer serves our soul and makes room for what does and what will. So as I bring this to a close, remember what I said in the beginning, that I wanted to expand what I do to include inspirational and motivational speaking? Well, I chose to challenge that step, and I'm standing here in front of all of you. And remember what else I had said? I had said that I wanted to travel and potentially get paid for it. Well, a month ago in my inbox was a job opportunity to Indonesia. And you can almost guess from what I've been telling you and what's happened over the course of time, that I may manifest, and we may manifest every day, open up to the opportunities to manifest. The job offer in Indonesia will be working with a family whose son is on their last year. His last year as a senior in high school, and I'll be interpreting for this young man in an international school. The employer that I'll be working for looked at, we Skyped, and he goes, "And you will also have the opportunity to work as a health and nutrition coach, because Jakarta, Indonesia is desperately looking for health and nutrition coaches." Everything that you can manifest whatever you want. Don't set limitations. It so makes you small, and you're so much bigger than that. So much bigger. So I'll be gone for 9 months, and he had said that, you can become a guru of health and wellness and exercise, everything that you wanted to be looking for. Well, I don't know if I consider myself a guru, but you know what? This trip has taught me that anything can be manifested. So my goal is to practice taking steps. My goal is to practice taking steps and living my truth. So hopefully I may give way to those who perceive themselves standing on unsure ground, the courage, the insight, and support to take a risk and live their truth. You know when it's time to move in the direction of your truth. The answers will not be in the knowing, they will be in the knowing. I invite you to walk this path with me. We have only perceived fears to lose and true love and joy to be gained. Thank you all for your support. With much love and much gratitude.